traveled back in time all the way to 2004 to bring you these artifacts from our childhood. Shrek Rice Krispies. They're basically Rice Krispies that are green. You know, from a Shrek collab, I expected more flavor. Maybe onion flavor, I don't know, something. Oh, good though. And Shrek Twinkies, which are Twinkies, but on the inside, they're green. Wow. Should we bring them back for Shrek 5 maybe? I don't know. We have 10 more discontinued treats from our childhood to answer the question, do any of these deserve to come back or should they be left in the lunchbox of forgotten dreams? Grab your grandma's knitted blanket and cozy up for this next one because we're headed back to the 1980s for a freezer staple of the time, JellO pudding pops. In the 1980s, the JellO pudding pops were an absolute hit, but by the 90s, they just kind of disappeared. But then in 2004, Popsicle actually brought them back. And sales flopped. And no, it wasn't just because of their former controversial celebrity spokesperson. These new ones had a different shape, a different formula, and basically zero of the childhood magic. So they disappeared for good quietly in 2011. But a lot of people really miss them, and unfortunately I couldn't buy 40-year-old popsicles. But you can buy a JellO pudding pop mold kit so we can make our own. I've seen people making these on TikTok and they honestly look so good. You can make vanilla or chocolate, or you could like combine the two into a pretty like tie-dye moment. I never got to experience the actual ones, so today I'm about to find out what the hype is about. This is probably the easiest recipe we've ever done in the history of cooking with hope. You basically take an entire JellO packet, 3 cups of cold milk, and whisk it up for a couple minutes. And then you could add like mix-ins if you wanted to, like cookies or sprinkles. In case this goes horribly wrong though for my first try, I'm just gonna do the basic JellO pudding pop. So we also have a cute backup. We have so many chances to get this right. Now we pour it in and our sticks. Okay, wait, I have to send a picture to my mom because she's so excited for this video.
The clock just rolled.
What?
The clock just rolled on its own in the background.
It's creepy. Is it haunted?
Wait, what, that? Yeah, it just rolled over.
That's haunted.
It looks haunted.
We got all of this like thrifted, so it probably is. Now we put them in the freezer for like 4 or 5 hours. And then we taste test them. 5 hours. Here are our pops. Yay. Okay, low-key, the JellO mold ones maybe turned out the best. Cute. What do you think? Do they look like your childhood? Oh, wow. Yeah, that's good. The texture is actually so good. I would say this one needs to be brought back, but like it's so easy to just make them yourself. So I bet this next one does not stay gone because it is the Choco Taco. It discontinued pretty recently, once again, like 2022-ish. So technically this one's not completely dead. It's just cryogenically frozen in heartbreak. There's people asking hundreds, even thousands of dollars for their Choco Tacos on eBay right now. It's nuts. But we actually tried to buy Choco Tacos like 4 times from different sellers and most of them backed out or were just like trying to scam us. We found a seller. Look at how they shipped it. This looks like something off the black market. Like, are we sure there's a Choco Taco in here and not like a body part?
What's in the box?
This is so scary. Shipped it overnight on dry ice for us. I think we ended up paying like $300 for 3 Choco Tacos, but there they are. Wow. Ta-da. Oh, it's a little broken, but it looks fine. Maybe a tiny bit freezer burned, but oh, it's hard. Literally shipped and it's still rock solid. Oh yeah, it's still good. Was it worth $100 each? Probably not, but I'm not mad. Now moving on to a staple of my childhood lunchbox. Let me know if any of you remember Kudos Bars. This was like my go-to after school snack. These actually first launched back in 1986 by the Mars company. Kudos Bars were like the mullet of snacks. Granola in the front, candy in the back. You could get M&M ones, Snickers, Twix. My personal favorite were these ones with the mini M&Ms on them. But back in 2010, Mars actually tried to rebrand them as more of a candy bar. It was too candy to be healthy and too granola to be candy. They left in like 2017 for good. But today, we bring them back from the dead. Not in this box, this is empty. You can channel your inner Nara Smith and make them from scratch. Look how good these look, are you kidding me? It's actually not too complicated of a recipe either. You basically need Rice Krispies and oats, combine those in a big bowl, and then in a separate pan, you're gonna mix together some like butter, brown sugar, some corn syrup, like I said, too candy to be healthy. And then once all of that mixture is melted together, you're gonna pour it over your Krispies and oats. That's what you're gonna use to form the majority of the bar. Then you're gonna chill your bars, melt some chocolate, dip the bottom of your bar in the chocolate, add whatever toppings you want to the top, and drizzle a little bit more chocolate, and boom, you have a Kudos bar. Okay, so I'm gonna taste test these and see if they actually remind me of the childhood thing. Okay, let's try our bar. Wow. Like, yes, it tastes like a Kudos bar, but it's so much better that it kind of puts the childhood one to shame, I'm not gonna lie. I highly recommend this. Do you remember Kudos bars?
No.
Really? You never ate these?
You know, I'm a little bit older than you.
No,
so...
these came out in 1986.
Wow. That's good. Wow. I've never had one of these before.
I mean, it's better than the original in my opinion, but.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Next up, the golden era of cereal, the prize era. Comment below if you're old enough to remember when cereal boxes would have toys inside. They were fun, but realistically, they were mostly good for like clogging up vacuums and sparking full-out sibling wars over who got it. From what I can tell, prizes in cereal actually goes all the way back to the early 1900s. But I feel like it really peaked from like the 70s to the 90s. That was kind of the golden age of the prizes. So I have a couple here. This first one is from 1990. Wait, it's so little. Were cereal boxes just smaller back in the day? They didn't have family sized. This is an unopened box of Cookie Crisp, which is still around today. Oh, it smells so bad. Yuck. Why is it so stinky? Okay, so this one had a free snack and canteen. Top holds beverage, bottom holds Cookie Crisp. Oh, this is so gross though. Ew. Oh, this is not good. What if there's like bugs in it? I'm so scared. It's sealed, so what is this like dust? Ew. Oh, it's because the bag is like disintegrating. Okay. And I got us some authentic 1980s and 1990s bowls and silverware. Let me know if you remember these ancient artifacts. Okay, here we go. Cookie Crisp. I mean, they're in a cookie shape still. Oh, they look so bad though. That's gotta be mold. What is that? That is not edible. There's like pieces of the bag in the cookies. And those little like red splotches. Yeah, I'm not eating that. But we got our prize. The prize is still in good shape. Okay, let's get rid of that forever. We also found the 1991 Addams Family cereal just in time for Wednesday season 2. So these were made by Ralston Purina is the brand, and if that sounds like a dog food, that's because it is. Oh my goodness. Okay, why is this one only a year newer, but it looks so much better? This is adorable. With creepy crunchy cereal. Well, now you can have a skull, a headless doll, and a thing. That's supposed to be thing. So this one comes with a glow-in-the-dark movie poster inside. But some boxes of this actually came with a flashlight that was shaped like Addams Family characters, like Uncle Fester, Thing, Cousin It. All right, it's looking a little better. Where's our poster? I literally don't see it. Where is it? Is it in the bottom? Is that it? You have to eat all the cereal to get to the poster? Okay, here's our spooky cereal. That one doesn't look bad. Oh, it smells so bad. It literally smells like dust. There's Thing. Okay, wait, the skulls are kind of cool. That actually does look like a skull. The headless doll. It looks kind of like a headless Sour Patch Kid. Yeah, I'm not eating either of these, but that was fun. Okay, where's my poster though? That's why I got this. There it is. It actually is in it. Okay, it's cute. The moment of truth though. After 34 years, does it still glow in the dark? Does it glow? No. Crusty, dusty cereal dust in the air. Well, apparently glow-in-the-dark material does disintegrate over time, so still a cute poster, but it doesn't glow anymore. So you may have noticed, once the 90s came around, a lot of prizes started getting stuck to the front of the box rather than being in the cereal box itself, because people started to realize that plastic toys in your cereal was maybe not the best idea. By the 2010s, it's all just completely replaced by QR codes and sadness. Let me know what the best cereal prize you ever got was though. I specifically remember in the early 2000s, a Rice Krispies cereal, and we got a little Nemo fish in it that actually like swims. If you're enjoying discontinued treats, you are not going to want to miss discontinued candy, which is a video coming very, very soon. So definitely subscribe so you don't miss that one. We are going to need to wash down our cereal with something to drink. And I have just the thing. One of the most peculiar pops of the 90s. We're gonna start with a soda that looked like water, but according to a lot of reviews, just tasted like disappointment. It was clear Pepsi, which is exactly what it sounds like. There was no caramel coloring. They were trying to market it as better for you. Corn syrup and vibes, I guess. We found this unopened one being sold on eBay. It was actually only $9.97. Literally the description on here says rare collector's item. I'm about to make all the collectors real mad because we are opening it. I don't know if I'm gonna attempt to drink it or not. I looked it up and apparently drinking expired soda is very unlikely to lead to sickness or death, but it just is gonna taste really bad, I think. It's like so old that it's starting to be not clear. It's starting to return yellow. Ew. Spoiler, this one's actually not from the 90s. They brought it back for a very limited time in 2017, so that's when this one's from. So it's actually only 8 years old. There's no carbonation left. It didn't even fizz. It still smells like cola. But I'm gonna actually drink some. It's not bad. Not the worst old product of the video. It really just tastes like flat Pepsi.
What's the expiration date?
November 20th, 2017. I think people that are giving it horrible reviews are being dramatic. It's not like that different than an actual Pepsi. Do we need it back? Probably not. We have another weird Pepsi flavor. In 2002, Pepsi gave us another drink that nobody asked for. It's Pepsi Blue. It literally looks like windshield wiper fluid. I think it's supposed to be berry flavored cola. All the way from 2004, sealed. This is a bottle. Literally windshield wiper fluid. Once again, this discontinued in 2004, but they brought it back temporarily in 2021. So I do have one of those here. We paid $140 for this, but we got a whole pack. Nope, nothing. What is those bubbles? I don't like it. Bubbles are scary. I can't tell if that's like syrup on the lid or mold. Also, that doesn't look new. That looks like someone drank out of it, does it not? We're just gonna seal that back up. We're gonna open one of these because I have something. Do you remember these? I loved these. That one smells like chemicals though. No, that one's bad because like this at least smelled sweet. This one's not good.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what it smells like is like an Otter Pop. Like a really old Otter Pop.
Look how cute. I don't dare drink it, but it's cute just as a little decoration. I was excited for this next one, but based on how gross this video's becoming. So we hated the neon soda, but what about neon condiments? I have right here from 2000, the Easy Squirt Heinz ketchup. It came in colors like blastin' green and funky purple. And they even did an ogre green collaboration for when Shrek came out. I can't believe there was one of these for sale. I remember them so vividly, even though it was another thing my parents never wanted to buy, but they flew off the shelves when they first launched. But then turns out parents decided they weren't super thrilled with squirting food dye on all their kids' food, so it disappeared after about 6 years. It is kind of concerning because in order to turn the ketchup a color like this, they first had to like bleach out the red, which I don't know how they did that, but it was probably not great. This is incredible. A kid condiment made with real Heinz tomato ketchup. More vitamin C than a regular ketchup. That's great. This is literally the only bottle we found in existence for sale. It was on eBay and we paid $288. Smells like bad ketchup. All right, and in honor of our childhood memories, we have, do you remember these plates? I loved these plates. My grandparents had them growing up, and Dino Nuggets. I didn't shake it. All right, now that it's shaken, I feel like it's gonna explode. We're good. Okay, take two. Oh my gosh. It's literally black. No! That's so gross. I don't know if it's mold, but because that's a potential issue, I'm not gonna eat it. Oh no. I can't believe somebody held on to this for 20 years. Ew. That could not have been any worse.
Should we bring it back?
No. It's time to take it back to the kitchen and class things up, because in the 2000s, if you were feeling fancy, you didn't just eat dessert. You baked it yourself under a 100-watt light bulb. This wouldn't be a childhood treats video without a feature of the Easy Bake Oven. Obviously, different versions of the Easy Bake Oven have come and gone, but I'm specifically talking about some interesting mixes that have been discontinued. Look how cute this is. It's a McDonald's collab. Let's see, what year is this from? 2000. But the colors are so iconic. This mix is 25 years old. I do not know how this is gonna go. All our stuff. Oh, look at this. It's like discolored. Listen, I've done worse. Do you guys remember when I ate Easy Bake Mix that was from like the 60s? So this isn't gonna be that bad. Look at these stickers. Are you kidding me? So I had a realization. I have so many different Easy Bake Ovens, and this tray that is specifically used to make the apple pies will not fit in any of them. I still want to use this mix, so we're just gonna pop them in the real oven and see what happens. Oh my gosh, we even have a little press. That is so cute. Oh, that smells like dust. Oh no. Dust, right?
Definitely stale. Stale dust.
Add a little water, and then we're gonna turn it into dough. Oh, some of these chunks are a little hard. I can't believe it's working. Now we're gonna form it into a ball. Flatten it with a rolling pin. This requires a lot of outside ingredients and tools, I'm not gonna lie. Open pie maker and press bottom. No, it's not looking too bad, surprisingly. Place a teaspoon of apple cinnamon flavor mix in the middle. Just dry? Ew. That one smells better than the dough. It smells like old stale brown sugar. It said 8 to 10 of them. Close the maker, open the maker. Wow. And put it in our pan to bake. Does not look appetizing, but okay. I'm only making one because I have a feeling this is gonna be horrible. I'm gonna put her in the oven for like literally a minute and see what happens. Okay, it's cooking. Kind of. I don't really know what I'm waiting for it to turn brown, maybe. She's coming out. Got some crispy golden edges. Honestly, it doesn't look bad. It smells a little bit better cooked than it did just raw in the package. So our candies kind of did nothing in the middle there. I'm gonna throw up. I hate this. We're just gonna try a tiny bite. Cheers. Oh, that's bad. I can't even compare that to anything. It's like windshield wiper fluid or something. Ew, I hate it. But it seems like it probably wasn't even good back in the day just because of what the apple center is. Like, it's not giving that gooey center that the actual McDonald's one was. So let's go ahead and leave this one in the past. We've talked about so many different snacks, but you know which snack really raised us? Fruit snacks. And not just any fruit snack. The one that I remember so vividly from my childhood are the blue opaque Scooby-Doo head Scooby snack fruit snacks. They launched in the early 2000s. They had a long, chewy life, and they were discontinued kind of recently in 2022. In 2016, they reformulated them to have less artificial colors, which meant our favorite opaque Scooby head got cut. But they are still making them to this day. But look at him, he's just not the same. My TikTok For You page was flooded with these videos of people saying that these fruit snacks are a dupe of the OG Scooby-Doo ones. So I have some to try. World's best cottontail gummies. I guess specifically the blue bunny is supposed to be similar. Let's find out. Ooh, they're cute. I mean, I definitely see the vision. Right off the bat, the texture's not right. I remember them so vividly. They weren't this squishy. It's this like disfigured bunny. These ones are probably the closest, these pink ones. Honestly, kind of. Close enough. Welcome back, Scooby. This next one might really live deep back in your dusty memory. It wasn't around very long, like 3 years, but I remember these so vividly. And you're not hallucinating, these were actually real for a time. The Swoops. They were thin, curved slices of chocolate in like a Pringles shape, and you could get a bunch of different flavors. Reese's, York Peppermint, Almond Joy, and they even came in like a cute little plastic pod, like a mini Pringles. And I remember the texture being so good because the chocolate was so thin that it would just melt in your mouth. And since these are literally impossible to buy now, we're going to make our own. Have a little taste test and see if they deserve to make a comeback. These are surprisingly pretty easy to make. So we're gonna take our chocolate chips, coconut oil, and peanut butter. Because if you haven't guessed by now, we're specifically making the Reese's one. I feel like that was the most popular one. Okay, we're gonna mix this and then microwave it in intervals until it's nice and gooey. Okay, this is the part where we had to get creative to actually form the swoop shape, and it's a little tricky. So, cups wrapped in wax paper. We're gonna use that as kind of our mold. Oh gosh, it's too long. You know, this is gonna be one of those like trial and error things. Some of them are gonna be real ugly. Okay, now we're gonna pipe our little peanut butter squiggles on and then pop them in the freezer and they should be ready soon. Are you ready for the final reveal? Ta-da! Oh my gosh, this is so cute! Are you kidding me? Look at them! They turned out like the perfect size. Time to remember if they taste as good as I remember. Oh yeah, yep, they just melt like right on your tongue. 10 out of 10 recommend. I think they should come back. Next up, more lunchbox desserts, and I have my cute little plate for them. Okay, Ritz Bits s'mores. These are another one that I specifically remember. They launched in the early 2000s, and they were like itty bitty, teeny tiny Ritz crackers. And then inside was a marshmallow and a chocolate filling. They were so good, so processed. And they were discontinued in like 2016 with really no explanation. Like, however, we actually found some of the OGs. And not just any OGs. These were a special edition 2004 The Simpsons collaboration. The packaging's so cute. Oh, and they have like the characters on the front. All right, what's the expiration? 28th of March, 2005. Only 20 years too late. This might be another really bad one because the filling of this does not look like something that's gonna age well. I mean, they don't look bad. That's how they looked back in the day. Oh, they were so good with the half marshmallow, half chocolate. Oh, they smell bad. There's like a very specific smell that's like expired carbs. Very distinct. Oh, it's bad. I'm gonna try just one teeny tiny bite and see what happens. You know, not as bad as the Easy Bake Pie. The stalest cookie I've ever tasted, and chocolate and marshmallow is basically non-existent flavor-wise at this point, but I don't know, maybe if we do a part 2, we can do a DIY, because I love these. We're continuing our trend of snacks that pretended to be healthy. Our next one is basically candy and a yogurt disguise. Many of you may remember the Yogos. Fruity, creamy little guys that lived in so many of our early 2000s lunchboxes. They launched in 2005 by Kellogg's, and they were like little fruit centers rolled in what most definitely was probably not real yogurt. But in our childhood brains, they're basically a probiotic. So Kellogg's was marketing them as a better for you snack, but it didn't work out. Because in 2010, people started getting a little bit smarter about how much sugar content was in snacks like this. Once again, if you're ever just randomly craving a Yogos though, we have 2 options. One, you can make them at home. So you take yogurt chips. I didn't even know that these little guys existed. They look kind of like white chocolate chips, but they're yogurt. Put in some coconut oil, mix it up, heat it up till it's nice and gooey. And you can either leave it like this or add a little bit of coloring if you want to. Next, we take our little fruits that we want in the center, basically stab them, roll them, and put them on some wax paper to then freeze. Honestly, this is probably the most satisfying one to make so far. Okay, now we freeze them and we taste test. And while these are frozen, option number 2. Some people are saying that there's a Costco brand that is a Yogos dupe. They are Nature's Garden Probiotic Mixed Berry. Here they are. They're not like perfectly round like a Yogo was, but wait, those are good. It's almost like a fruit leather inside and then just like this really creamy, subtle outside. I don't know, it might be a better dupe than the ones we made, but let's see. Ta-da! Cute. I like the coating of ours better, but the inside of these better. Honestly, just maybe go get these. Not bad, but not a Yogo. It's like, it's not sweet enough. Okay, so obviously I couldn't buy any like actual Yogos from back in the day, but look what I found. A Yogos dispenser. Let's load them in. Yogos were little though, if they fit in that. Okay, let's see. Ta-da! Oh. Ta-da. No. Next is probably the most aggressively marketed snack of the 2000s. These launched in 2009, and for a long time, they were everywhere when you turned on your TV. And if you remember the Sprouse twins in the Danals commercials, then you definitely remember the sweepstakes. So basically to enter, you had to film yourself like loving Danals Crush Cups and submit it on their website. And then they selected a few people to meet Dylan and Cole, like go hang out with them and win $10,000. So Scott Kramer, if you have been wondering, did in fact solve the mystery of who actually won this sweepstakes back in the days. This video is definitely worth a watch if you've been curious. So I never actually had the chance to try the Danimals Crush Cups. We were more of like a great value yogurt household, but today's the day. It may come as no surprise to you that you cannot buy 20-year-old yogurt. I even tried to find the packaging. I'm like, give me an empty crush cup because I just want to like see how it worked, but I had no luck. Because these were a special design. The bottom of the crush cup was actually pleated so that you could squeeze it and get all of the yogurt out. It wouldn't get caught in the corners. So the idea was it was like a yogurt on the go and you didn't need a spoon. Honestly, Go-Gurt at this point had been around for like 10 years, so I don't know why I wouldn't just buy a Go-Gurt. I think a lot of people felt the same way and it got discontinued in 2010. Okay, so no original packaging, but I decided to get creative and I was like, what if I make my own crush cup? So I found these. They're for JellO shots. But I think it's gonna be perfect because it has that accordion style that you can crush. Why is the paint coming off on my fingers like that? We tried to spray paint them red so that they looked like a Danimals, but yeah, maybe we should just do the clear because I don't want to eat paint. Why not just take a regular yogurt cup like this and crush it, you might ask? Well, you can't because it gets stuck in the corners and the bottom. Cute. Cheers to the 2000s. I have a confession. I don't love yogurt that much, but for the sake of science and for the sake of nostalgia, I'm gonna eat this whole thing. It definitely worked. Yeah, just go buy a Go-Gurt though. I feel like that just makes more sense financially. So rest in peace, Crush Cups. I don't think they need to come back though.
We're going on a field trip for this next treat because it wouldn't be a childhood treats without McDonald's. And McDonald's has had some absolutely iconic treats over the years that they've discontinued, but we're specifically focusing on the McFlurry. They've had some interesting ones. There's been a Shrek McFlurry, a Nerds McFlurry, a lime and chocolate McFlurry, but today I'm craving a bubblegum McFlurry. It was vanilla with bubblegum syrup swirled in and mini marshmallows. And it never actually launched in the US. I believe it was just Australia, New Zealand, and Indonesia, but today we're finally gonna get to try it. Could I get a large vanilla ice cream cone, but could I get it in a McFlurry cup? And that's it. Thank you. Time to make our bubblegum McFlurry. I have my mini marshmallows and the biggest bottle of bubblegum syrup. I think those are the only two ingredients, so here we go. Yum, and marshmallows. Let's see what we were missing out on. That's so good. Oh my gosh, because McDonald's ice cream is so elite, and then the bubblegum flavor, and then like the chewy texture of the marshmallow, bring it back.
So a lot of these turned out to be discontinued for a reason. A lot of them will be missed. But in the end, these aren't just snacks. They're field trips, birthday parties, cafeteria trades. They were all the things that made our childhood feel truly magical. Make sure to check out all of my other nostalgia things from our childhood videos if you haven't binge watched them yet, and we will see you guys in the next video. Say bye, YouTube.